Why does your ass hurt?
Because the banks have been fucking me up the ass. I'm a Bank of America customer. No, but they just did.
Yeah, Mr. Levy, with the advent of global regulations, including the restrictions on cap and trade and things like this worldwide, do you think that humanity might eventually see the emerging of a one world government? And what are your thoughts on that?
I really kind of think we're at a moment right now, and we can think about different kind of scenarios, you know, and the whole idea of cap and trade is a fallacy. It's a lie, you know. Ask Somalians about that, about the lie of cap and trade. You know, we talked about the whole issue of the piracy around Somalia, but nobody told people that fishermen who had used the tradition of fishing in those areas, found that their areas have been depleted of fish. Not only that, depleted of fish, and that they were toxic as well. You know, so we see what this cap and trade has meant. Just dump the waste on somebody else. Of course, it's not dumping the waste on somebody else. We use 33% of the world's resources right here. That's it. That's unsustainable.
What is sustainable?
Using 33% of the world's resources. Right here, it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable with 5% of the world's population. Those are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. We have to ask ourselves in our own transformation. What does our own personal transformation look like? We talk about personal transformation. I'm also talking about collective transformation at the same time. What does it look like? What does it mean? How we can talk about and what we fight for? How do we lobby for the kind of sustainable kind of energy? Someone from green power here. How do we talk about lobby for that? How do we talk about communities where we have less cars, not more cars? How do we begin to talk about that? Those are the questions.
Can I ask?
I'm out here to share some poems and, you know, freedom of expression. I felt bad sitting at home, you know.
Not being able to do your part?
What's that?
Not being able to do your part?
Not being able to do my part. My brother called me up and he said, you know, come out, see what's going on. Jumped on the internet. I mean, this is everything that's going out here is everything I've been feeling for the last 2-3 years, and can't let it go by without making an effort to be part of it.
I'm here representing school teachers. I'm a school teacher at LAUSD.
So you're out here representing school teachers. What do you want this group to do for you?
You know, I want the government to start paying attention to our kids, our future. Stop shysting us. This is one of the most important things you need to do is make sure that every kid gets a good education. And we're robbing our kids. It's terrible.
Let me ask you something. If kids are not getting a good education, do you think it would be okay for us as a society and for people who look over our banking system to start firing teachers who aren't doing their jobs? Do you think that's acceptable?
If they could find, you know, that's a really controversial question.
Not a controversial question. If you're not doing something, you fire them. Like the prison guards, like the police. Like the military.
I agree.
Right? If they're not doing a good
No, I do agree because I'm a new teacher and they hired me specifically because I have a new way of thinking. All the old teachers, they won't conform to new ways. They're stuck in their conservative 1970s structure and it's not working.
It's Michael Jackson. Talk to me for a minute. Can you? Oh, there we go. What brings you out here?
First of all, he said we're not. The new media is calling us a pale copy of the Tea Party, and that we're not. We're not about hate. We're not about that. We're here in love for our fellow man, and that we are here to support and to make a better world, not to preach a message of hate, not to oppose, but to support. And that he's with us. So. Yeah.
Well, did he say something specifically as an issue here in the nation?
He spoke about the issue. I know in particular, I remember him speaking about jails, about the issue of the people here are about the military-industrial complex, and he reminded us that there's also a prison industrial.
And Cornel West was saying that he was just one voice that was taking all the voices, and that he was talking about how people have been trying to paint this as being in the shadow of the Tea Party. And we are just like the tip of the tsunami coming to get them, you know? Yeah. They've been trying to paint this as an all-white group, but it was obvious standing down there that it's a rainbow coalition. And he was talking about the things that are going on in this country, the banksters and the rip-offs and the injustices that have been going on for a long time. Somebody was holding up a sign that had a big picture of Martin Luther King on it, and he was saying, you know, this has been going on a long time, and that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you know, all of us coming together, this is just the beginning of a movement that's going to continue and grow, and people have to be heard. Trial of Michael Jackson's doctor. They're going to beat poor Michael Jackson in the ground to death. They're going to beat his grave and his death to death, and they've got all that media up there with the news of distraction. Not that many people in this country are really worried about, am I going to kill myself by buying off some celebrity doctor? That's not an issue.